All right, let's dive into One Piece. Chapter 1134, The Owl Library. The Straw Hats are finally on Elbaf, the Island of Giants. This chapter, oh man, it's packed with reveals, emotional moments, and it's giving us some huge hints about what's coming next.
It's amazing what Oda does, how he fits so much into just one chapter. We've got reunions, big surprises, and a look at a culture we've only really heard rumors about until now.
Yeah, like Robin's reunion with Jaguar D. Sol.
Yeah.
That had me tearing up a little, seeing her break down, and the Straw Hats all gathering around her.
Yeah.
It shows you how strong their bond has become.
It really takes you back to the O'Hara arc, doesn't it? It reminds us how important Sol was in Robin's life. He risked it all to save her, and now, look at her, she's thriving with people who truly care about her.
And Sol approves of Luffy. He acknowledges Luffy's strength as an emperor, and trusts him to protect Robin. That's a big deal, coming from someone like Sol.
For sure, it's more than just a personal nod to Luffy. It's like passing the torch. Sol sees Luffy as someone who'll protect knowledge and the people who seek it out.
Though I gotta admit, Luffy's whole Yakuza-style thank you was a little strange. Nami looks so confused.
That's our Luffy. Always genuine, even when he's, a little different. He might be an emperor now, but he's still got that playful, unpredictable side.
Speaking of unpredictable, that reveal about Vegapunk's clone, Lilith just drops it in there like it's nothing.
Totally. And it throws everything we thought we knew up in the air. Why was this specific Vegapunk clone on Elbaf 20 years ago? What was he doing? And what's Lilith planning to do with him now?
Don't forget Bonnie. She's begging Lilith to help Kuma. She's still holding out hope that he can be restored.
Bonnie reminds us that all of Vegapunk's science stuff, all the advancements, they have real consequences for people.
Yeah.
What happened to Kuma, it makes you think about Vegapunk in a different light, a little more complicated,
Shifting gears for a second, we finally get to see what Elbaf's culture is really like. I was surprised. It's not what I expected from all the stories about war-hungry giants.
Yeah. We're seeing schools and libraries instead of battlefields and warships. The Walrus School, the Owl Library. It seems like Elbaf really values education and knowledge now.
We learned that King Harold was a big believer in peace, right? He wanted trade and cooperation instead of all the fighting. Seems like his idea stuck around, even though Loki killed him in the end.
That's a good point. Harold's death is really tragic, but it makes you think about who's really in charge on Elbaf now. Is Loki just power hungry, or is there a group that wants to go back to the old ways of war?
Even the giant kids Luffy and Usopp meet are pretty chill. They have rules about not hurting humans and not even calling them shorties. It's a big change from the giants we saw back on Little Garden.
I think Oda is doing that on purpose. He's showing us that even a culture known for being fierce can change, They can adopt new values. Makes you wonder if this peaceful generation can keep it up, though, with all the potential threats out there.
And speaking of threats, that brings us to the biggest reveal of the chapter. Shanks is here.
Whoa, talk about a cliffhanger. The Black Lightning, that magic circle, the figures in the hoods. Oda is going all out to make this entrance epic. Shanks' arrival is going to shake things up on Elbaf, that's for sure.
I know, it's so intense you can practically feel it. We don't know why he's there, who he's with, or what he's planning, but we know it's going to be big.
Shanks' arrival brings up so many questions. Is he after the road poneglyph? Is he looking for Luffy? Or is there something else going on entirely? The possibilities are endless. This is what makes this chapter so exciting.
We've got so much to talk about. Let's take a quick break and then dive back into the mysteries of Elbaf.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts on what Shanks' arrival could mean for the Straw Hats and the whole One Piece world.
Welcome back. Before we get to Shanks and all the chaos he's about to bring, I want to go back to the Owl Library for a minute.
Yeah, that place was amazing. A library that can make books gigantic. It's like straight out of a dream. But it's more than just a cool visual, right? Especially for Robin. Exactly. Think about it. Those books are from O'Hara, Robin's home, the place that was destroyed. Seeing them safe and sound, it shows that knowledge can survive anything.
You could see how much it meant to her. Her reaction was so powerful. It was like she found a part of herself she thought was gone forever.
Imagine losing everything, your home, your family, your whole history, and then suddenly you find pieces of it, saved against all odds. That's what that library is for Robin.
And Sol. He went back to O'Hara with Hadradin to save those books. That's dedication. He knew how important they were, not just for Robin, but for everyone.
He's more than just a strong giant. He's like a protector of knowledge, of history. His actions show us something important, something this whole chapter is about, preserving the past for the future.
But seriously, how cool is it that the library can make those books huge? The possibilities are insane. Imagine what Robin could find out with her knowledge of ancient languages.
It's a treasure chest full of information just waiting to be opened. Who knows what lost stories, what forgotten secrets are hidden in those pages? I'm so curious to see what Robin discovers.
Me too. But while Robin's busy with the books, Luffy and Usopp are having their own adventure with those Elbaf kids.
Yeah, and they're not what we expected from Elbaf, right? We've heard all these stories about giant warriors, but these kids are totally different.
Right. They're so peaceful, so respectful. They even have rules against hurting humans and calling them names. Nothing like the giants we met on Little Garden.
It shows you that Elbaf has changed. This younger generation, they've been influenced by King Harold. They value peace more than fighting.
But it's not like everyone feels that way, right? Harold was assassinated by Loki after all. Makes you wonder who's really in charge on Elbaf.
Good point. Harold's assassination makes it seem like some people want to go back to the old ways, the warrior traditions. Loki, with his love of power and destruction, he might be one of them.
Speaking of Loki, that conversation he has with Mosa in the underworld was really weird. I still don't get their relationship. Who is Mosa, and why are they so close to Loki?
It's a big mystery, isn't it? They're friends, but they've never even met face to face. It's like they have some kind of mental connection. And their conversation, it's full of hints and foreshadowing.
Loki talking about fear and destruction, and then Mosa saying there's a strange kindness in his words. It feels like there's a deeper story there, something we don't know yet.
Definitely adds some depth to Loki's character, right? He's not just a simple bad guy. There's more to him than we think. Maybe his motives are more complicated than they seem.
I'm starting to think Loki might be one of those characters who isn't totally good or bad. You know what I mean? He could be an antagonist, but not really a villain.
It's a subtle difference, but I think you're onto something. Oda loves to create characters who aren't just black and white, characters with complex motivations. Loki might turn out to be a lot more interesting than we think.
So we've got Robin exploring this library full of ancient secrets, a Vegapunk clone with who knows what motives, and a power struggle going on in Elbaf. And then, bam, Shanks shows up.
Talk about a game changer. The energy of the whole chapter shifts the second he appears.
The way he just pops out of nowhere, the black lightning, the hooded figures. It's like a scene straight out of a myth.
Oda knows how to build suspense. He's been hinting at Shanks' arrival for so long, and he does not disappoint. It's dramatic, it's powerful, and it leaves us with so many questions.
All right, let's speculate. Why is Shanks here? Just passing through? Or does he have something specific in mind?
Well, knowing Shanks and his position as one of the 4 emperors, I doubt he's just dropping by for a friendly visit. He's a smart guy, he plans things out, there has to be a reason he's here.
So maybe he's after the road poneglyph. Wouldn't that put him against Luffy, though? They're both after the same thing, right?
It's possible, but remember, Shanks is a complex character. He's strong, yes, but he's also got a strong sense of justice, of loyalty. I don't think he'd just steal the poneglyph from Luffy, especially after everything they've been through.
True. There's got to be more to it. Could he be trying to help Luffy in some way? Maybe warn him about something?
That's a good thought. Maybe Shanks sees something coming, a threat that Luffy isn't aware of. He could be on Elbaf to point Luffy in the right direction or to protect him from something dangerous.
This is getting interesting, but before we get too carried away, what about those hooded figures with Shanks? Who are they? Why are they so quiet?
They're definitely adding to the mystery, right? Are they part of the Red Hair Pirates, hiding their faces for a reason? Or could they be from another group altogether, maybe even connected to the world government?
So many possibilities. This chapter is like a giant setup for what's coming next. Oda is a master at this. He's created a situation where anything could happen.
We've got the Straw Hats chasing their dreams, the Giants trying to find peace, the mysterious Vegapunk, and now Shanks, the legend himself.
They're all on Elbaf. It feels like destiny, like they were meant to clash, and the outcome could change everything in the One Piece world.
This chapter is amazing, not just for what happens, but for the questions it makes us ask. Oda is brilliant at keeping us guessing, keeping us hooked.
He's given us just enough to make us curious, to make us imagine all the possibilities. And now we wait, and we theorize, and we wonder what's going to happen next. We're back and ready to finish our deep dive into chapter 1134. Robin's got her ancient mysteries, there's a Vegapunk clone running around, and Elbaf's got its own power struggles. But the big question is, what about Shanks? What does his arrival mean for all of this?
It throws everything we thought we knew out the window. Shanks just being there, even without saying anything, changes everything on Elbaf. It's like a
Right.
sudden earthquake shaking up all the characters and stories.
You got that right. And the way Oda sets it up with that black lightning and the magic circle, it's like he's saying, look out, a major player has arrived.
It's all about emphasizing Shanks' legendary status. He's not just a powerful pirate. He's a mystery wrapped in an enigma. Everything he does matters, and his presence alone can tip the scales.
So we talked about why he might be on Elbaf. Is he after the road poneglyph? Would that put him directly against Luffy?
It's definitely possible, knowing how important those poneglyphs are. But Shanks has always been, well, hard to predict. He's strong, he's strategic, but he's also got this strong sense of justice, of loyalty. I don't see him just betraying Luffy, not after everything they've been through.
It's what makes it so interesting. We've got this race for the One Piece, but then there's this bond between Shanks and Luffy, something that goes beyond just ambition.
Maybe that's the key to figuring out what Shanks is really up to. Maybe he's not there to fight Luffy, but to help him, to keep him safe from something he doesn't even see coming.
Oh, I like that. It fits with how Shanks has always acted. As Luffy's protector, his mentor, maybe he sees a danger on the horizon, something that threatens Luffy's dream, and he's come to Elbaf to stop it.
It makes sense, and it fits with those themes of mentorship and legacy that we see all the time in One Piece, like how Roger passed the torch to Shanks. Maybe Shanks is getting ready to do the same for Luffy.
Makes you think, doesn't it? But what about those hooded figures with Shanks? They haven't said a word. Are they friends? Or do they represent some group we haven't met yet?
They're another piece of the puzzle. Are they part of the Red Hair Pirates, hiding their faces for a reason? Or could they be from a secret organization, maybe even working for the world government?
It feels like anything could happen. This chapter is like Oda setting the stage for something huge. He's brought together the Straw Hats, the Giants of Elbaf, the mysterious Vegapunk, and now Shanks, the legend himself.
It's like they're all being drawn to Elbaf, like it's destiny. And what happens next could decide the fate of the whole One Piece world.
This chapter is amazing, not just for what actually happens, but for all the questions it makes you ask. Oda is so good at keeping us guessing, keeping us wanting more.
He gives us enough to make us curious, to make us imagine all the possibilities, and now we wait and we come up with our theories and we wonder what's going to happen next.
This deep dive has been a wild ride. We've only just started to uncover the mysteries of Elbaf in the One Piece world. But that's what's so great about One Piece, right? It keeps changing and keeps surprising you, and it keeps you coming back for more.
So, until next time, keep exploring the world of One Piece, keep theorizing, and keep that spirit of adventure alive.